Hey, y'all, Monday, November 9th. Begin the starter, please. If you've not done so already, again, you should always, as you're waiting in the waiting room, wait for other people to get admitted into class, you should go ahead and always do the starters, okay? All right, so here we go. Pretty straightforward. Which of the following is true about child labor during the Industrial Revolution? Use prior knowledge, use your information from last lesson, probably the last two, last Thursday and Friday to help you complete this. Okay, population during the Industrial Revolution decreased. Children worked on farms as human scarecrows. Children were used to clean chimneys during the industrial, I should say during the, not to these, to does. The children in factories were more vulnerable than the children used on farms, and more children were used on farms than factories. Kind of another term we could use for farms is like agriculture, in the agriculture industry. So go ahead, please, and answer that question. Again, you're choosing all that apply. Which of those is a true statement? There's more than one. Okay, is a true statement. Okay, I like that question a lot. Okay. All right, so here we go. Summary today, November 9th, 2020. Can't wait for 2021. See if I can get in here. There we go. All right, so objective, which you will see on your ticket out the door today. So make sure you have that. I would write it down. Make sure whatever you access this page frequently just to make sure you get the ticket out the door right. But our objective today is to determine the causes of World War I. We are done with the Industrial Revolution. We're moving on to World War I, which is just after the Industrial Revolution. Okay, and the North Carolina Standard Course of Study is use primary and secondary sources to interpret various historical perspectives. Unit's still Europe, and it's going to be that way until December, actually probably until January. Okay, statement of inquiry will remain the same until January as well. Ideology, impacts, interactions. So this time around, we're going to get into like, when is it okay to go to war? Okay, ideology, your ideas and beliefs that you carry will determine when you feel it is okay and justified to go to war. Okay, so you will interact in a warlike manner if you have certain ideas, and we're going to get into that today, and that's what we're looking at. So synchronous work is the starter. We're going to begin World War I DBQ cover, World War I DBQ hook, and then the ticket out the door. Okay, your asynchronous work is to complete the cover and the hook, the cover and the hook. So again, all that's going to be, this page is your ticket out the door. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are aware of that. Okay, everybody, let's get after it. Back to DBQ project, please. Everybody go to DBQ project. Okay, y'all remember how to do that? Go to Clever, go to your NCED Cloud, go to Clever. I'll walk you through it here. Okay, so take a look at the screen. I'll walk you through it. These are, I mean, honestly, these assignments are easy if you're engaged, if you're present, if you're in the program, all that. It's tedious but easy. Okay, tedious but easy. So hang with me here. Okay, so we're gonna go to, so you log into your Rapid Identity account. You should be looking at this screen here. And I need to make sure everybody gets in there. That was what happened during the first quarter. Some students just never got into Clever. They never got into the DBQ project. Then they were incredibly behind. So if I'm speaking to you, if that's you, make sure that you're doing this now. Okay, I do not want you to get behind. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. Go to Clever, and you should have an assignment there. I tried to assign it to you yesterday. Log in with NCED Cloud. Okay, log in with NCED Cloud. It's the middle option. Okay. And then DBQ project again is the red square. Yours may be down further. I put mine in my favorites section here. Good, good. Let me know once you're in the chat. Let me know once you're in the chat. I want to make sure we're all good here. And then I believe you have like your class here. So for me, I have to go to this part. And you should see your assignment. You have 3 of them. 2 of them we've already done already. Okay, your third one here is what was the underlying cause of World War I? Okay, everybody go there, please. Anybody need any help? Anybody lost? Put in the chat. Put in the chat. Let's help each other out. Today's not a difficult day when it comes to the DBQ. I'm just going to introduce this one to you again. Again, DBQ stands for document-based questions. You get primary and secondary sources, and you use those sources to help you determine the answer to a historical question. Today, our historical question is, what was the underlying cause of World War I? Okay, so we're going to look at that. And we're actually going to determine some of the causes of World War I throughout this process. And this process is going to drag out quite a bit. Yeah, we're going to do rainbow highlighting. So if you look at the instructions in here, you'll see it. Everything's still here. It's going to be the same exact colors as the last DBQ. I like to keep that consistent. So let's see. Let's go. Everybody go to here. This is the cover. Everybody should have the cover. Everybody look at the cover. Okay. Now, I want you, okay, very simple. Go through these steps. Again, do not skip ahead, do not rush, but read the page through one time through. So if I'm doing that, and we can do this together. I'm going to start here, right, at the title. What was the underlying cause of World War I? Then I'm going to look at this political cartoon and trying to just look at it. Get an idea for what I'm looking at. I see Germany, Austria, the piece of Europe has a sword in its chest. So, and I think we can interpret that later on in a little bit more depth. And that's from the Chicago Daily Tribune, August 5th, 1914. Read the overview and then the documents, okay? So the overview. In the summer of 1914, Europe went to war with itself. It was a war that many expected to be short. In fact, it lasted more than 4 long, terrible years, taking the lives of millions of combatants and civilians. In some cases, entire high school graduating classes of young English, French, German, and Russian soldiers died fighting one another along the western and eastern fronts. In this mini Q, you will investigate several of the causes that led to this tragedy. In the documents, get document A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. All right. That's the first step, is just reading it through one time. Second step, number the paragraphs or sections. Go ahead and do that now, please. So again, I go to freehand. Last time we either did a text box, we wrote kind of with like you could write with the mouse, you could do a sticky note, you decide, but please number the sections or paragraphs. What did we do last time? I just did a text box. So you know what, I'm gonna do a sticky note this time. 1. I'm gonna move that. You know what, I'm gonna move it right here. 1. And I'm gonna copy. See if I can copy that. Duplicate it. I'm gonna duplicate it right here. Make that 2. You got a second section here where the documents are. Okay, y'all see that? Y'all with me on that so far? And this is review. We're gonna go quickly for the other documents, but I just wanna make sure we're all good here, okay? Now, the way I do my DBQs, I could just give you a question and have you answer the question and just call it a day. But I want to know that you guys are close reading the documents. This is what we call close reading. It takes longer, but for me, it's best practice. Whether or not you can answer a question or not doesn't matter to me. It's whether you know how to read these documents like a historian. Next step. Okay. Reread each paragraph one at a time as you highlight the following: people, groups of people, purple, numbers and dates, blue, places, locations, green, other important information, orange. Okay, everybody do that now, please. And I'll do that with you here. I may even do that honestly with the even with this political cartoon, maybe, because I think that's some important stuff up there. Okay, but anyways, you can, you don't have to though. All right. Here we go. So everybody should be doing that now, and you can refer back to the directions as often as you need to. Okay, piece of Europe. That's highlighting that green. Austria, Germany. But also could be, I guess they could be also considered groups of people, like the Germans or Austrians. Other important information is orange. Okay, all right. All right, I see some dates. August 5th, 1914. People. And honestly, y'all, a lot of our pages should look identical. I mean, the only thing that should really be different is probably what's orange, what you determine to be important information. Okay. Summer of 1914. Okay, went to war with itself. It was a war that many expected to be short. 4 long, terrible years. I should be doing this on your own as well. Combatants and civilians, people. Any questions about what we're doing here? Any questions about what we're doing? Location, was that green, right? Western and Eastern fronts. Okay, and then I will go down here and highlight these documents. B, C, D, E, F. Okay. In fact, we are not going to do documents. I'm going to cross them out. We're not going to do document B. We're not going to do E, and we're not going to do E. We're going to do A, C, and F. So I'm just crossing those out. All right, I see some no's in the chat. What's the, what questions do you have? Okay, all right, good, good. All right, so that's what mine looks like so far, right? What's the next step? Y'all know? Y'all put in the chat. What's the next step? What do we do next? Y'all got it? What do we do next? I'm looking at this, right? We got to do our hashtags. No, not take it out the door. Yeah, we got another thing to do here. Write a 1 to 3 word main idea hashtag in the margin. So I'm going to do a sticky note again, right? I don't know why that. Okay. And in that sticky note here, I may just do something like World War I, you know, honestly. I may just do something like that. All right. And the next one, duplicate, move it down here. I'm just going to do documents, documents. All right, there we go. All right, that's it. You're done. I mean, it is the title, but I mean, that's just the, there's not really a paragraph like a main idea from that. And that's fine. Y'all ready to move on? Let me know when you're ready to move on in the chat. Say I'm ready. All right. Your part of your asynchronous work is completing this as well. Okay, so but we do need to move on. Let's hit next. Okay, everybody go to the hook. Go to the hook. I want to introduce you to this. Nah, we're staying on this. All right, everybody go to the hook. I really like this. Here's the deal. When is it okay to go to war? When is it okay? Let's look at these scenarios, and I want you to discuss them in the chat. I mean, I see that, right? I see it. A lot of people saying never. Okay. So look at number one. Everybody look at the hook. Number one. Okay. Our nation is attacked. I'm going to do freehand here. Okay. I'm going to do. All right. If our nation is attacked by a foreign military, check off whether you agree or disagree. Is it okay to go to war? If it is, check off agree. If it isn't, check off disagree. Go ahead and do that now on your hook. And you can put in the chat too. I want to see what y'all think. I mean, you could say, yeah, I agree because, you know, we were attacked first. You know, I know that's sloppy, but we were attacked first, something like that. Or you could say, right, you could disagree. It's not let me erase. Or you could say you disagree because, you know, there's got to be another way to solve the problem. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could, it's up to you, right? This is your opinion, your idea on what you think. All right. Move down to the two's confusing. All right. Okay, so number two, I'll go through and explain these because then we got to get to the ticket out the door as well. Okay, this is your asynchronous work. A nation with whom we have a mutual defense alliance is attacked. So basically, you have friends around the country, countries around the world that you as a country are friends with. And it's kind of like you agree to support each other and defend each other if necessary. So one of those friends that you have is attacked. So you can go ahead and, again, you know, determine. I mean, there's some opening, you know. So yeah, so you may need a little bit more detail, but at the same time, I think there's enough for you to go ahead and process it and figure out whether you think it's an okay time to go to war if a nation that you are friends with is attacked. Number three, president assassinated by a terrorist from an unfriendly nation. Check off and explain. Check off and then explain in the notes, please. Four, our president tells us that a country is planning an imminent attack on us. This is a good one. We've not been attacked yet, but intelligence says that there's going to be an attack. Is it okay to go to war? These are good. These are good scenarios. All right. Number five, a country has just had a fundamentalist revolution and is sending fighters into oil-producing nations in the region. So basically, you just have a group of maybe more radical people leading a revolution, and they are sending their troops and fighters into a country that produces oil, a very important resource for the world. Is it okay to go to war with that group of people? Why or why not? Six, an unfriendly nation has just successfully tested a nuclear weapon in violation of a signed UN agreement or United Nations agreement. These are good scenarios. Is it okay to go to war with that country? I mean, what if they have a nuclear weapon, right? They aren't supposed to test it. They aren't even supposed to have them, even though we have them. All right, next. A U.S. naval vessel is sunk in a foreign harbor by government agents from that country. So we have a Navy ship, is sunk, killing some of our soldiers. Is it okay to go to war as a result? Okay? Any questions about what I need you to do on this? You need to check it off, yes or no, and explain, justify. Okay? I'm going to be looking at this. I'm going to be looking at these for grades. And here's the deal, y'all. I'm now in my classroom. I'm going to be grading things even quicker than I did before. So please do not have things being done late. There's a good chance, literally tomorrow morning, I'm going to check all this and give you a grade, if not tonight. So make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're doing it well. Make sure you're doing it on time. Okay? Do not waste any time. We got to be efficient with our time, y'all. Any questions about the hook? Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. All right. Go ahead, take it out the door, please. Take it out the door. Okay, pretty straightforward. Objective. What unit are we studying? Statement of inquiry. Asynchronous work for today. Once you do that, submit it. Again, make sure you're getting that asynchronous work done. Okay, please complete that now. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat.